Welcome to Tales of Honor, a podcast with a mission to tell the true stories of every recipient of our nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Tales of Honor podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode is episode number 588, continuing on with recipients from the Mexican campaign at Veracruz. I have two birthdays to go over today, and the first was actually, it was actually on Saturday. I had him mislabeled for whatever reason. I had the wrong birthday written down, so I'm going back a little bit in time here to the 21st of January, 1985. This birthday belongs to Mr. Salvatore Ginta. Sal is a former U.S. Army Staff Sergeant that earned the Medal of Honor for his actions during the war in Afghanistan. So a very happy birthday to Mr. Salvatore Ginta. I did cover his episode, I covered his story way back on episode number 29. So I'll have a link in the show notes for his story. So a very happy belated birthday. Now, today's birthday is actually on today, January 25th, 1980. This birthday belongs to Mr. Ty Carter, who is a U.S. Army Staff Sergeant that earned the Medal of Honor for his actions during the war in Afghanistan. So a very happy 43rd birthday to Mr. Carter today. I also covered his story back on episode number 27, and I'll also have a link in the show notes to Ty's story, so you can go check that out there. I have nothing else to go over today, so let's get on with today's Tale of Honor. Theodore was born on the 22nd of December, 1888 in Annapolis, Maryland, where he entered the U.S. Naval Academy after graduating from St. Paul's School in New Hampshire. He graduated the academy first in his class in 1909 and received a commission to ensign on the 5th of June, 1911. 2 years later, he was assigned to the USS Florida for sea duty, and it was his actions while leading a company during the landing party at Veracruz that would later earn him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For distinguished conduct in battle, engagements of Veracruz, 21-22 April 1914. Ensign Wilkinson was in both days fighting at the head of his company and was eminent and conspicuous in his conduct, leading his men with skill and courage." Theodore received the Medal of Honor on the 4th of December, 1915, and later deployed to European waters on board the USS Tennessee to assist with the evacuation of Americans in Europe unable to leave because of the outbreak of World War I. During and after the war, Theodore served as head of the experimental section of the Bureau of Ordnance, followed by serving as a gunnery officer on board the USS Kansas. By 1945, he had commanded 5 vessels, headed 4 government bureaus, and commanded the Battleship Division II, the South Pacific Amphibian Forces, and the 3rd Amphibious Force, reaching the rank of Rear Admiral. Theodore testified before a joint congressional committee during the investigation over the bombing of Pearl Harbor. He stated that he thought the Japanese would have avoided a direct confrontation with the U.S. and assumed that they would attack somewhere in the South Pacific. Theodore would go on to help develop the strategy known as leapfrogging that became one of the 3 main factors that helped defeat the Japanese. This strategy simply allowed the Allied forces to occupy positions behind the Japanese positions to cut off their supply lines. With leapfrogging as a tool, Theodore would receive 3 Distinguished Service Medals by January of 1945, and he was ordered to the Navy Department for his final assignment as a member of the Joint Strategic Survey Committee of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. On the 21st of February, 1946, Theodore Stark Wilkinson Jr. died in a ferry accident at the age of 57. He was able to save his wife, Catherine, but was unable to save himself. The couple had 1 child, and Theodore is buried in Arlington National Cemetery, Section 2, Lot 3645. And that was the Tale of Honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor, and if you enjoyed the show, please be sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family. Tales of Honor is written and produced by Christoph Ambrosch, and theme music is Loyalty and Duty by Floruz Music. If you have any questions, you can send an email to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com, and please be sure to visit talesofhonorpodcast.com for more episodes and information.